come here today to talk with you on a few topics of interest. I'll try to make it as brief as possible. However, I tend to linger when it comes to my topics of interest, so I do apologize. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who missed me. I missed you guys too, and I apologize for not being online as frequently as I should have. A lot of things been going on, personal life, whatnot, and then also a total I can't explain it. I just a total disconnection from being willing to get online after I don't know, it was just terrible. I had a bit of a personal revelation, so to speak, tribulation, or whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. I did not realize just how deep-rooted the New World Order's propaganda engine has inserted itself into the minds of the population. I mean, I knew of it, but I just didn't know how deep. I didn't realize that how many people that were so easily deceived and so lazy would be a good word for it, unwilling to put in the time and the homework, even those that who claim to be truthers. I mean, it was a bit devastating for me, actually. And I put out a video in regards to that a while back, and it was pretty much the last thing I've done. And at that point, I could no longer continue the work with the documentary. Between that and a comment that an individual had made, stating that they wish they could see Ringrose's face when it was released. And I don't know, that really got to me, because the intent behind producing the video was to not to attack Ringrose. I mean, it wasn't the intent. The intent was to warn people about what they were investing their time into, as many before them had already found out the hard way. And I was wanting to warn people to stray away from such individuals. And when I released the trailer, the comments that I received were just unfathomable. I just could not believe that educated individuals would respond in such a manner. I mean, they were blatantly scrutinizing me for the simple fact that I was trying to warn them, to let them know that that Matthew portraying himself as the savior really wasn't that much of a savior, and in fact that he was just a megalomaniac would be a good word for it. And on the side of the note, he wanted to get a little money out of it at the time. I mean, just like any other individual that exists on this planet, except, within the truth movement, it's just not very well accepted, especially when you're dishonest about where the money's going. So that pretty much extinguished that notation. Now, I've had to restore my system and go through a lot of headache to try to get everything back online. Now, all my original content still exists. However, the work that I had already inserted into it is no longer available, it seems, or at least I haven't recovered it yet. On that note, even looking at it now, I guess Matthew is more involved in, Unite Us, or whatever it is, some freaky little name that him and a group of individuals have associated themselves with, trying to continue what I told him he should have mostly worked on. And he's not asking for donations, at least not that I know of. But the only real problem with Matthew now is that he still wants to portray himself as some sort of leader, and unfortunately he's no leader. He leads people into a pit of despair, unfortunately, and those who are willing to allow him to do so can take it pretty far, and with no remorse, it seems, because he believes in his heart that he's doing everything he can do, and that may be true, but he doesn't want to accept the fact that he's overall harmful to the general population in such a manner. But because that was really it. I mean, I even told him that I had no reason to produce the video if he would quit asking for donations and quit trying to lead up any sort of organization. But he refused. But it seems maybe now he's starting to take that advice and that request. So we'll see. But I said I would do it, so I'm going to do it. Unfortunately, I have to complete it, but I can't promise you anything. A lot of the notations and things that I had was based on, Earth Defense Federation, which is pretty much defunct now. However, the things that are, concerning Matthew and whatever Matthew decides to involve himself in may be of some interest. I think a lot of it has to do that is important to be released is the very fact that Matthew seems to have this, I don't know, he almost envies the New World Order. And I say that because the way he gears and functions is much like it, and a lot of individuals who worked directly with him and even lived with him had brought that up. Some of the comments that he had made were quite atrocious, to say the least. And even, recently discovered on his True Vision tube concerning, the name association. I don't think I could associate myself with anyone that would even dare, use such an alias. But I don't know. Honestly, it's mostly guessing. But the problem of it is, folks, is that people are taking on a savior without even taking the time to really get to know him and say that they know him. How can you say you know somebody that you've never met, you've barely talked to, and defend them on the grounds as if they've been, your best buddy all your life? It's atrocious. It really is. But yet, this is the way we've been taught, people. It's the way we've been programmed. We're lazy. And it's because it's just too easy to change the channel or change the disc and to distract us. It's just too easy. And we've become lazy. We've become... it's been mainstreamed in our minds that if it isn't easy, well, that it isn't worth fighting for. And even the things that are worth fighting for, it's difficult for us to get motivated because the habits of which we've achieved by this mass media propaganda engine over our entire existence has made us just lumps of flesh almost. And it's really sad how this practices. So on that note, my original intent was to build a video that was elaborate and beautiful and blah blah blah. Not even going to do it. Not even going to go there, okay? I'm going to put out what I have. I'm going to make it very simple, very plain Jane. I understand that there's a lot of ways you can influence people into thinking the way you want them to think by doing certain tactics and so forth, and it's very present in modern mass media, especially with advertising and things, trying to manipulate you to buy their product and what have you. And it's very mainstream to want to do a very quote unquote professional job, but and I just thought it was just kind of a mainstream thing, and I knew that that existed, but I just didn't realize how much damage this sort of operation has done to the population, and therefore I'm not going to invest that kind of time to try to manipulate you into thinking the way I want you to think, because I think you should be free to think the way you want to think, okay? And I will give you what I have, and if you want to worship this guy, if you want to believe that he's your best friend, if you want to discredit me, you want to throw it out for whatever reasons, it's your choice. But you need to do the homework, guys, okay? You need to really look into something before you accept something. It's just plain and simple. And that goes for me and anything else, alright? I'm going to throw out there what I've got, bits and pieces of it that I did manage to recover. Of course, I have all the testimonies, too, that of some, not all of them, but of the former EDF members. So I'm going to give you what I got. I hope you enjoy it. Which, actually, I take that back. I hope you don't. Because it's not there for entertainment. So, peace to you, everyone. God bless you. Much love. KrisKhaos out.